Come on, everybody, let's start the show. A quick ahoy hoy and away we'll go. Richard's got a minifig and Flynn's got a pin. The gang's all here and it's time to begin. Tricky Bricks roll call. Moto, Holly, Cara, and sometimes Blair, Clicky, Logan, Ms. Thing and Angela, and Thunderman Ho! Now you're here to grab your bricks and let's go to the Tricky Bricks Build and Chat Show! Oh no, I forgot. Ahoy hoy, friends!
Ahoy hoy!
How's it going?
That few minutes was shorter than you thought.
It was, there's always some kind of technical nonsense going on.
Keeping it real. You know what?
Which glasses do I wear anymore? It's the new glasses. All right.
You know what, Flynn?
There, I can see now. Yes.
There is no doubt when you watch our show that it's live.
I would have it no other way. So, golly, well, we've got a full house today.
Action-packed.
Sure.
Adventure episode.
So
with all of the special guest stars.
So, and we're making up for the fact that last week we had terrible internet difficulties and the show went downhill very quickly. I think it was 5 minutes long, our shortest show ever.
We had actually no idea how completely connected our house was until it was disconnected.
Okay, a long, boring story.
Well,
but anyway,
we're happy to be back.
We're super happy to be back, and we've got amazing guests today. And I know that I've been teasing you all week saying we have a new recurring Sunday guest star who I'm very excited about. And so we will be announcing that in just a few minutes. But first, let us please welcome to the stream, season 2 contestant and Tricky Brick Sunday chat regular. It's Moto. Hi, Moto.
Hi, Moto.
Ahoy, hoy.
Ahoy, hoy. I love your shirt. We have shirts just like that.
Yay,
us too. I got this at the Brick Rodeo Convention. The seller was there, and
very good.
I love for Amy and Jamie.
Perhaps we need to wear those at the Bricknick, or maybe we can all wear our matching shirts.
If you want to do that, I will do the laundry today to turn around because I'm almost all packed.
All right, we got ours.
All right. So also we have our other regular Sunday folks. We've got Minifig Chick. Hi, Cara.
Hi, Cara.
How's it going? Good to see you. And we've got, here she is. Oh, she's got a different name today. She's Holly. Oh, and she's doing an @ now with her name. Fancy. She's building a brand. It's Holly. Hi, Holly.
I'm really not. Hi, everyone. Ahoy.
And coming back after a couple of weeks away, we have internet sensation Bricks O'Brien.
Oh,
hi, Brian.
Hey, Brian.
Hello.
How's it
Thank you
going?
for having me.
The dulcet tones.
The dulcet tones of Bricks O'Brien. And now for our very special new recurring Sunday crew guest. I'm so excited about to welcome to the crew. Everybody, please welcome Randall.
Hey.
Yes.
Randall.
What's up, y'all?
Hi, Randall. How's
How's it going?
Glad to be back. Hey, glad to see you too, Brian. It's been such a long time.
It's almost like I don't know what you look like in real life at all. No clue.
Not at all.
No clue.
So the two of you were able to meet at Brick Fair, Virginia, right?
Yes.
That's right.
There's picture proof across the internet. I had such a time there. I lost my voice for like 4 days. I'm still recovering. So yeah.
Was that because you were standing in front of Martin's piece going, everybody look, it's Peach's Castle?
I mean, I used it as the rallying point for people meet me online. I'm like, hey, I'll be in front of the castle today. And it was that. It's perfect.
Yes, I heard reports while you were gone. I was like, oh, so I hope Brian's having a good time. He says, oh, yeah, he's guarding Martin's castle with his life.
Every time I saw Brian, it was basically around Martin's castle. So you're not wrong.
In a move that will surprise no one anywhere. Oh, my goodness. Well, it's been a couple weeks, and we're about to actually take another break. Who are we? Lego Masters? Break every other week. This is actually because we're no longer doing Wednesday shows, and we will not be doing a show next Friday because we will be in Portland. However, we will be doing next Sunday a live from Portland spectacular show with part of our cast. So that is going to be really fun, and we'll be breaking down the next episode of Lego Masters, which I just realized we'll get to watch together, perhaps.
Oh, that'll be fun!
Amazing.
Oh wow!
So
I think you're right.
Yeah, I know. We can do that. We can make that happen.
Yeah.
So we're back after and actually I'm kind of glad because last time we were here, I know like Brian wasn't available to be here. Everybody, I know Randall wouldn't have been available. Everybody who was at Brick Fair was gone doing Brick Fair. So they weren't able. So Abby is calling it the Put a Bird on It episode. Indeed.
Yes, put a bird on it.
So I got to know from everybody on here. So August 1st was a huge day in Lego, like a huge
call
day.
It take out a third mortgage on the house day in the Lego realm.
Exactly. And we actually did not go shopping that day in anticipation of our Portland trip. We were just like, no, we got to save the dollars. But I'm interested to go around the horn here and see what everybody has picked up. What did you get on August 1st? And is it on its way? Is it already there? Have you built it all already? Like, what's the deal?
I'll be right back. I have to go get it. I didn't realize
All right, I knew Moto would have a show and tell. What about you, Randall?
Well, two things. One, it was such a busy weekend at Brick Fair VA that I kind of forgot about it. Even though I was here on Tricky Bricks and we talked about the sets that were coming up on August 1st, so totally dropped the ball. That's one. And then two, there were some Lego Masters from season 1 that went shopping and didn't let anybody know they were going to the store.
What? That's a scandal. Uh-oh.
I'm not going to say any names. You know who you are, the guilty parties, but I was
my
so
goodness.
heartbroken.
Called out.
It's Randall with the scandal. That may need to be our new feature on Sundays. Randall with the scandal reporting live.
Let's do it. Yes. So I did not buy anything, but I bought a lot of stuff at Brick Fair.
No, okay. Well, let's phrase it this way: is there anything you will be getting from this August 1st go around? Was there anything that really stuck out to you that was like, I must have this thing?
Oh yeah, I believe I was talking about the Ninjago set that kind of looks like the White Power Ranger.
Yes. Oh yeah, that's right.
Yes. I'm gonna get that. That's that. I know that for sure. And I was just in the Lego store yesterday and could have bought something, but I was on Pick-a-Brick all day. Like 6 large cups. So
did you have a mission on the Pick-a-Brick wall?
No, so I asked this on IG and I'd be curious to know y'all's thoughts. When I get to Pick-a-Brick, I always look for pieces that I don't have to round my collection out. And then if there's something that I'm looking for that fits a mock that I'm working on, then I'll load up on more of that. So I'd be curious to know if y'all use Pick-a-Brick more for mocks or just to round out your stash.
I'm like a kid in a candy store. I don't even Flynn sort of tames me down a little bit, but I'm like, we need 500 of those. He said, we got those at Lug Bulk 2 years ago. We're doing right.
Or we got that giant cup full of trans orange flames the last 3 times we were here. So maybe we don't need.
I bought some of those. I actually had some of those on the wall yesterday. Yeah.
Yes, very good. I gotta say, I'm always jealous. I don't know what it is, but like I always see these amazing walls from places where they're like, oh, look, it's the yellow tree branches. Like the leaves are all.
Those got those yesterday too.
But I've never seen those at ours ever.
No, never.
So
it depends by store too, and it depends on your stocker. Like I know the Colorado Mills where I go is just it's on point. The elements are putting up there right now, which is detrimental to my wallet, but I like it.
Yeah,
we have one that gets you in trouble with promise that doesn't fully come through because they'll have like 1x2 lavender plates. You're like, yay, I have 1,000 1x2 lavender plates, but what can I put them with?
Wow.
Like, do I have any other pieces that go with them?
That's right. That's right.
I like variety, so I tend to lean towards getting a little bit of lots of things rather than a lot of any one thing.
So Holly, your cups always look like a little parfait, like little layers of.
It does.
Ooh, I can go get mine. Yeah.
If I saw 1x2 lavender, I'd just buy a full cup and send it to Holly because I know she appreciates it.
I wouldn't return it.
So Moto, going back to like August 1st purchases, what did you pick anything up?
I did. I avoided the crowds on August 1st, but I did go back a couple days later. And
yay.
I had to get the typewriter.
Yay! It's a great set.
I don't know when I'll build it, but I have the grand piano unbuilt. I've got the typewriter now, and anything that's mechanical, I'd love to have on display. So,
well, I would say use that one.
Theme. Yeah.
Take your time. Don't build it on a stream, and pay attention.
Or do just for the entertainment for the rest of us.
Oh man!
Yeah, that one. I don't know. I'm willing to take that challenge sometime. If I do it, I'll do it live. Yeah, that'd be fun.
Oh, it was.
We try to keep most of our Lego in the Lego room, more or less successfully. But that piece is in the center of our coffee table, in the center of our living room.
It has pride of place for sure. It's a great
I might move mine upstairs.
What about you, Cara? I know you have like 30,000 boxes en route that you're basically going to have to like remove your couch and just sit on boxes, I think.
Pretty much. Yeah. Well, I have to say this arrived a couple days ago.
Ooh.
Oh, nice. Bird of paradise.
It's so pretty. Oh, here's
very cool.
Let's see. We ordered the space shuttle. And there may be a couple of beat boxes.
There may be a couple of beat boxes.
And the new Mickey and Minnie rocket and airplane sets.
Oh, nice.
Oh, fun.
Now, which one of those? One of those has the new Pluto or the Pluto figure, right?
No, I think the Pluto comes in the farm set.
With the sheep that everybody's freaking out about.
Yes, I did not order that one.
We'll say sheep.
Anyway, and there's more stuff. There may be several more things.
Yay!
There may be several more.
Probably several more things.
Well, you could roll them out like an ongoing feature.
Exactly. Luckily, most of them are pretty small. So
everybody also too, in just a minute, we're going to be saying hi to everybody in the chat. So if you want to say hello, now's the time to get your name in there and populate that list. But until then, Brian, any purchases, August 1st purchases?
I strolled down to Target the day after Brick Fair ended because I'm like, there must, Mario's not that popular with the AFOLs, right? Let me just go into Target and grab something. You people at Brick Fair, Virginia left nothing, literally nothing of anything, zero, nothing at all. There was one video boombox, the $100 one. That was the only one.
Did you get it?
No, I already had. I got it for review, Flex.
Oh, that's right.
Months ago, so I had it sitting here. So I ended up going to the Lego store after I got back. They had plenty of stuff there. They knew I was gonna come in, so I got a few of the Mario sets that I hadn't gotten from Lego quite yet. I'm waiting on my Luigi prize winnings for the tournament, so I got some of that stuff. And in order for me to hit the 200 for the boat, I got the gauntlet. So I got the Infinity Gauntlet.
Oh, that's a cool piece.
Yep. And I want to get all the Marvel stuff in one go, I think in Christmas time. So I didn't get any other Marvel sets. But the more I guess, cool thing about getting those sets, the Mario sets, day one. They have these coins that they're not really like advertised super duper well, but there's these gold and silver coins that you can get.
Yeah, no,
being
Brian,
at the
that's false.
store.
That's false news. I looked into that, and that was something that was pulled back. So those in most Lego stores, those are put away, and they are not giving those out right now.
At my store, they were giving them away.
Now, Holly, I don't mean to actually but as was said at my Lego store that I went to, they were supposed to have these as a interactive display thing where you did activities in the store.
Yes.
Kids got these
That's
by
right.
waving their hand over a question mark block. So my store, at least, and a couple of stores in my area, they have these, but they're not giving them out as a gift with purchase or a specific protocol. They're just giving them out because so
Because
you
you're
can
Brian.
get them. They are available. I don't know where specifically, but I know my store has silver and gold. So
Yeah.
there you go.
And
Yeah,
Brian,
that's not wrong. I'm just saying that apparently most stores
Right.
were told to that event was essentially canceled, which I also heard was why it was removed from the calendar.
Well, I don't know why it was even
Most
put in the
stores.
first place, though, because they were like, oh, yeah, we want you to do interactive play activities in the store in order to get these. Why do they want kids touching things throughout the entire store constantly?
Yeah.
That doesn't. So
So, Brian,
So now they're
my-
like golden tickets.
yes.
Yeah, my store has them. I just waved my hand over the box and I got a silver one. I was saving it for you, but it looks like you've already got them.
I'll take one.
No, exactly. And these things, yeah. So if you want to get your hands on them, they're out there. I actually saw these on eBay forever ago, and they were like, "Oh, it's an exclusive thing in China you get with a whatever." These are like $200. So it's like that coin situation all over again with the collectible VIP coins, but you can actually don't spend a ton of money on eBay to get these. They exist. They're out
So
there.
you think this will be the new Dogecoin?
Oh,
I-
you know.
If they're the thing is
you
for
know
the
what that
stores
is?
that for the stores that have put them back, I was told that it's an event that will eventually happen. So if it hasn't already happened in your store, it should be. They still have them. They're just put back in the stock room.
Allegedly.
Cool.
Just-
So,
That ever
Just be
happened.
patient.
There's hope.
kids.
Yeah.
It probably depends on your state's protocol.
It does
around
depend. It
COVID,
depends on
because
your
ours is unlocked. That's why our store has full PAB. Everything's completely open.
I also just wanted. It felt good to be actually Holly. It kind of just
Actually,
You got your coins.
So Holly, what about you? August 1st purchases?
oh, you know me. So yeah, some stuff on order. Did go into the store briefly, but kind of end of day. I got my castle, of course. That was the number one on my list, was getting the castle. That's what I was excited for.
Mine
But-
too.
Yep.
This was my impulse buy. Had to get it. The boombox.
Oh
sweet.
yeah.
There you go.
Oh, it looks
I
so
should get
good.
that on principle.
Did you get the pirate ship?
I kind of had to choose. I had already ordered stuff online, so I was within somewhat of an imaginary budget, and I wanted to get at least one of. Usually that wouldn't be like a day one purchase for me, but I'm kind of traumatized by how Hidden Side rolled out, where the third wave just came and went, and like it was just gone. I was like, oh yeah, I'll get that next time, and then I never saw them again. So I was kind of
Well,
worried.
now, fair enough. That third wave suffered from COVID. Like that was why we didn't see them in the stores, because they didn't end up like coming here
Right.
until the
But-
very end.
But I've seen that before too. Like even with elves, like once they decided to retire it, that last wave of elves
Oh, you're killing
right to
me.
the
I
heart.
was kind of scared. Yeah. So with video, I was like, and knowing that it's basically being phased out, I was like, you know what? Whatever I want most, I'm getting it now.
Yeah.
It's smart.
So, hey, while we're taking a break from talking about what we bought, let's say hi to everybody who's in the chat. Abby the Brick Squirrel is here. Alexander 23. Chris Red Separators Chalice.
Ooh.
Nice.
One of your shortest names to date. We've got See You Later is here. How's it going? Don Brickles, Heather Brownlee, Hooded One, JMT 14, Joel Have Studs Will Travel. Lisa Head is here. Hey, Lisa. Yano River Blue is here. John Luttrell, Johnny Cat. Golly, all these people are sliding in.
I know.
Darren Siegfried, I just saw. Wow, it's all like Hooded One, Lisa Head, Yano River Blue, I think I said that already, Matthew Builds Bricks, Monica Berry, and Moto, and Ms. Slow Brickta. PT McEwen is here, Patrick Wismer, Phil Carlton, hey, how's it going? Wilfred is here, bonsoir, always great to see you. Wyatt Builds, and of course somewhere, Zarakino, Kim. And Cafe Corner is here, hey, how's it going?
Hey, Cece.
Great to see you. Apples is here. Wow, Jeff Kramer is here.
What a great Sunday.
Yeah, fun Sunday
Brunch
crowd.
here.
Sunday brunches.
Wait. Before we move on from things we bought, I do have a couple more things to show because I think you guys are into this. So I did get one of those.
Oh,
Yeah. We talked about that.
Beautiful.
What a great piece.
Yeah. So, and that's not all. Hang on.
But wait, there's more.
And Minifig Nick is here too. Hey, Nick.
Amazing.
Whoa.
I haven't seen that one. We have to have that one.
That's one of the better ones that they've done.
I agree. And last but not least, wait for it.
What a tease.
Come on.
Oh, yes.
Oh, nice.
So
I love the little micro haunted house. Is great.
That's
Yes.
why it's a tease. They know we want that haunted house so badly to come back.
Yeah.
See, we haven't even put up our Halloween tree yet, Flynn.
I know. Oh, and Donnie A. Bear's here. Hey, Donnie, good to see you. Saw you here earlier.
Those are fun, Holly.
Well, cool.
I was actually probably equally as excited for those as I was the castle.
Yeah, I think we got the castle, and then the sailboat. The sailboat was sent to us by Lego, but as far as like our purchases for ourselves, like the castle was sort of the August one thing that we got. But
But we had recently gotten the arachnoid.
Oh yeah, and the Spider Queen, another one from Lego, really great piece, although not August 1st one. But we are going to be in Portland and celebrating, a couple people's birthdays. So I'm just saying a trip to the Lego store for purchases may be on the docket.
And on AFOL day.
Especially, Saturday's AFOL day.
Yeah, but that's the day of the event. How are we going to do both?
We can do it.
Determination.
We're going to use the same time portal technology they use on the show when they conduct the interviews.
We're just going to a double shot of
we're just
espresso
gonna
in the
teleport.
coffee.
That's right.
There you go.
There are ways.
Right. So for all of our on the scene videos from the Bricknick, we'll have to talk in the present tense.
Yes, exactly.
We are here. It wasn't from yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah, remember? It wasn't from yesterday. All right, everybody, how about pins? It is time for pins. Pins.
Boom, got it.
If you got them, show them. Let's start it. We'll just go around the circle. Moto.
Well, of course, the only pins I have are the ones you've given me, but this one happens to match the shirt so very well. I don't like putting holes in my shirt, but in thought, just pretend that
It's perfect.
Pretend it's there.
You know what I started doing, Moto, is I put them... for those of you who don't like to put holes in your shirts, I started putting mine in this sort of little space between the shirt and the collar where it's a little bit thicker. And then there's less chance of holes. But anyway, that's just me. Randall, do you got something for us today?
Yeah, I want to show two things. So this is my very first convention badge.
Cool.
Oh,
Yes. So Midwest Builders, BBG Forge, Brick Nerd, and Brothers Who Brick. So Corey, shout out. Somebody talked about this brick. I got this from Citizen Brick.
Yep.
Oh, very cool.
That's great.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna have to send you a Tricky Bricks brick for your badge there, Randall.
Please do. I would love that.
Awesome.
So that's this. And I also run, on top of all the other things that I do, I run a retreat for Black designers. This is our 5th year doing it. It's called the Hue Design Summit. And so we had some swag. It's called,
it's so
Cool.
Yep, 5 of them things. So the 5th annual Hue Design Summit from this summer. So
wow, well, congratulations on an awesome project and a beautiful pin. It's really gorgeous.
Designed it myself.
Wow.
Wow.
Right. Very nice. It's very it's got a really cool vintage feel to it. I really like it a lot.
Thank you.
Cara, always ready with the pins.
All right. So This is a new series this summer, so it's Windows of Main Street, and this is the Palm Parlor. So if you haven't been to Disneyland, on Main Street, like a lot of the windows are painted and gold leafed with the names of a lot of Disney people, designers, family, etc. And so this is the Palm Parlor, but it opens up, and inside
Nice.
we have Madame Leota.
Wow.
Yay.
Oh my goodness.
That's amazing.
I love that.
Super
Wow,
jealous.
cool pin.
Very cool.
It's a whole
Oops,
series.
that's us.
So
Hi.
Hi there. All right, Ryan.
Side tangent. I looked up because I see every week y'all do Disney pins, and I'm like, how many Disney pins are there? There's like 40,000 Disney pins.
Mhm.
I know there's a lot.
So I'm like, okay. I have a Mario one, of course. It's Cat
Yay.
Mario.
Oh, that's dope.
Oh,
That's adorable.
Yeah.
so
Thank you.
sweet.
That's awesome.
Send me
Yeah.
the link.
Very cool. Ahoy, hoy, Spaceman Jonathan, welcome. Very cool. And I think I saw Ivan dropped in. How's it going? All right, Holly, what you got?
All right. I also refuse to be beholden to Disney. So we did a big garage cleanout.
Refusal to be ding anything. You can have any kind of pin you want,
That's right.
Holly. You don't
That's
need
right.
to downplay those of us who like our Disney pins.
I'm just saying. But we did a huge garage clean out last week, and I found a treasure trove of pens. So I am ready for the next few months. But for today, that's a good one.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
There you go.
Very cool. Yeah, actually, we were just talking about we have so many Disney pins now. I think we're going to expand our collection out of just spin off into some other ones too.
It's funny you said garage clean out. At first I thought you said grudge clean out. I was like, we're gonna get rid of this stuff.
I think it
so
kind of was a
much.
little bit of both, wasn't it, Holly?
A little bit.
All right, what have we got today? Well, hang on, I gotta
All right.
make sure Clicky's gonna do their job.
All right, are they back?
We'll see.
Okay, I've got Oswald,
Ooh.
one of my favorites
That's nice.
there. Help me out, Clicky. Oh, there you go. It's Oswald.
Awesome.
A hidden Mickey pin. And yeah, so we're gonna go on a non-Disney pin adventure.
And in a rare break from different things, first of all, I got to show you. I'm wearing my Ziggy Stardust Benny shirt, my Benny Stardust shirt, and sort of going along with the space theme. I am venturing into Star Wars pin land here
Oh my goodness.
Ooh, there we go.
with my sexy Poe Dameron.
How
of course.
dreamy.
Right? I mean,
Where'd you get that?
Oscar Isaac. At Disneyland, I traded it at one of the trade stations.
Because he doesn't want to be Indiana Jones at all.
And I love it.
Right.
I do
Right.
love this. I do love this pin. It's a good one and a nice style too. Put that on. All right, fun. Well, pins
See, I just-
have been done.
I just freely put holes in these shirts and just know that we're not going to go 4K anytime soon.
I know. I know everybody's shocked that I'm doing a Star Wars thing, but you know, I do like some Star Wars things. I'm not gonna.
You should have
You know.
been on the Star Wars trivia show with us on London Bridge on Friday.
I don't need I don't know it that well. That's the thing. I could talk pretty good about like the first few movies, but not into the detail.
That's okay. Apparently, some of the other panelists didn't either.
When is this trivia show?
It was on Friday on London Bridge Bricks, and Mr. Chris Chalice took the trophy.
I
Oh,
read
cool.
about that. Yeah, I was only able to come in on that at like the last 10 minutes of the broadcast because we were out doing stuff. But
He waited until all the Star Wars was over to appear.
I would love to try.
Chris Red Separators Chalice. Does that
oh,
mean
let's see
you
that,
have-
Randall.
This is the old school.
Oh,
Yes. Yes.
Huge,
I didn't realize you were such a big Star Wars fan, Randall.
Oh yeah.
of course.
Oh yeah.
Oh, good to know. This is good to know.
Just based on the wavelength Randall and I have been on, I could have told you that.
Very good. All right.
Again, you're welcome to hang out in our basement.
I'm more than ready. Yes.
I know. Richard and I were discussing yesterday. I was hoping maybe when we do our live from Portland show, some of us may be allowed to broadcast from the secret Star Wars vault at Holly's house, but we'll see.
Oh,
We'll see if we can get special permission.
I know we're gonna have to wear gloves.
booties and gloves.
Yeah, we'll wear booties and gloves, and we'll do like acrobatics over the lasers so that nobody knows that we're in there.
To fly in on a wire.
It'll just
Do you have a skylight? Do you have a skylight in that room?
No light.
Nope.
They will after we're there. Just saying.
Tunnel
Anyway.
from below.
So there's this mystery in the chat right now. I have to know, does Chris Red Separator's Chalice actually have a red brick separator? I don't think I've seen one.
He does. Actually, it was on his Instagram. He's got a whole box of 3D printed ones. They're super cool.
Oh,
yeah.
I see the dark side.
You can 3D print those.
We're going to need them in all colors now. Rainbow.
How strong they are. As far as I think it would depend on what
whether
which
it's
filament you
flexible
use,
or not, right?
But yeah, very cool. Hey, Spud Hill Farm, how's it going?
I used to be so adamant about only Lego. It has to be Lego. Must be Lego. And now I'm like, it's bricks. I don't, if it fits,
Let's
So
see.
you use Mega Blocks? Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely
No,
not. See,
no,
there's the
no.
key right
They
there.
don't
I
fit.
said if
They
it
don't fit.
fits.
Just had to
I think you
ask,
guys.
have to keep you off your own show.
If it
Just
fits,
saying.
it sits.
I got to say, Mega Bloks and the other companies do have some interesting colors and some interesting parts that Lego does not make.
They
That's
do
true.
Pokemon
Oh, yeah,
very well.
true.
That's true.
Yeah, some technical pieces.
There's
a
this
3D printed
it's pretty
separator.
Mhm.
There's part of a kit I think you can
Oh,
get.
okay.
And there's like pliers that you can use for like Technic rods and whatnot. They're really, really good.
Oh, very cool.
Oh. You'll have
Holly,
to
how
fi-
does one
you
procure
need to
one
find
of
us a
those?
link.
Yeah.
Right?
I'll do some research.
So here we are. Sorry, going.
Oh,
I
look,
was
you're bringing
technical.
images
Sorry,
up.
I was doing technical things here on the side here. So
It's getting all multimedia.
it's about time for us to move into the meat of the show of today, as it were, and that is breaking down Lego Masters Season 2, Episode 6, Demolition Derby. And to say that there were the highs and lows, the thrill of victory and
the agony of defeat.
agony of defeat.
Oh my goodness.
Nevermore. Seriously, even season 1, like Aaron and Christian's tower topple had nothing on what happened at the end of this particular episode, and we'll talk about that when we get to it, because I don't want to
Pretty
say
epic.
too much about
Well,
it.
I
but
know
Wow.
after watching Aaron and Christian's tower go, over and over, like for
Oh no!
6 months.
Oh no!
I have to say it was a dramatic episode.
It was a very, very dramatic episode. So yeah, I actually found it to be a really fun episode for, obviously they are, again, as we've talked about before, really leaning into the destruction this season, like what falls apart or doesn't fall apart. And I thought that this was a much cleverer way of introducing that, or, doing that than say, when they back-to-back 2 episodes, one that was about something falling apart and the other one is about something not falling apart. I thought that this was a much cleverer structural challenge
Agreed.
for that.
By the way, check out Miss LaBricta's.
Yeah, I was just going to say that.
Yep.
Oh yes, Caleb got married yesterday. I didn't know about that.
Congrats to Caleb.
So congratulations,
Yay.
Caleb. Never mind, I'm not going to say. All right.
May your bricks always clutch.
There you go. Thank you. All right. Okay. So we've got the pictures, and once again, and I'm going to do this live. I talked to Moto and Randall earlier, and they were kind and gracious enough. Thank you guys for providing us with 2 photos, because Fox, in their infinite wisdom, this is to the press now, sent out only 6 of the 8 cars, pictures of 6 of the 8 cars.
What?
And one of the ones that they excluded was the winning build.
Oh my gosh.
So thankfully, we got some pictures in.
Oh, they just have interns doing everything over there.
Pretty much. Yeah.
I mean, I guess so, but I've asked them about
that's called
things.
A production assistant. Be kind.
Several times about, you know, like why certain ones are left off each time. Like, I don't get it, but it happens. So anyway, but let's take a look. So first of all, the episode started out with the contestants having to build the green Lamborghini. I think someone coined it the Lamborghini, as like from memory. Now, I know that the editing cut out a lot because they literally like walked up and looked at it and then walked away and then built recreations of it. But later down the line, I saw photos of them all standing around it with sketch pads. So they had an opportunity to really, really study this car. I feel like they really tried to play a trick with that in the editing, and anybody, I think, with a brain could look at that and go, there's no way they could have looked at that for the couple of seconds that they showed and then actually like produced a viable copy, unless you are an intense car person and know exactly what a Lamborghini looks like.
Well, I'm curious.
I designed.
Well, Moto, you had your hand up there. Can you talk about that design time and what they told you? What did they tell you was the goal of that?
Wasn't there?
Oh, excuse me. I mean, Randall. Randall.
If there's a challenge that would have probably nailed this one, would have been it.
So do you?
I'm the worst.
But what was your what was your take on that? Like, did anybody sitting here really think that they weren't given actual legitimate time to check it out?
Of course they had.
I mean, it's
were those public photos? I saw that photo.
Yeah, those photos were public
of them drawing.
Yeah. So I'm just
That does surprise me. I'm surprised to hear it. I didn't see that, but I'm surprised they were allowed to do sketches. If I was allowed to do a sketch, man, that would have locked it in.
Yeah, 100%.
Now, I don't know if they were able to keep the sketches when they were actually building. What it seemed like to me was that they were allowed to look at it and sketch it and get the idea of it and like kind of get it in hand and brain. And then they weren't allowed any reference material after that, because we definitely saw scenes of them going, but I think, didn't it like curve more towards the front? Like, I feel like if they would have had their drawings in front of them.
I think you're right. I don't think they were allowed any reference material. They never have been for any challenges.
Right. That would keep it consistent.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was just really like a moment to, you know, I mean, because it's proven that if you write something down, it sticks in your brain better than if you're just, you know, look at it or are told it. Yeah. So, and I believe
one of the teams did have a really good strategy, though, when I was looking at this, just from the technical side. So one cheat is that whenever you design a car, you look at the wheels and you look at the wheelbase and you count the number of tires that would fit in between those two tires as their distance. So sports cars tend to have a lesser track and trucks have a wider track. But the minute you look at a wheelbase, you can count the height and you can count the dimension between them, and then you count the tire offset between the back and the front from a side view.
Whoa, you had it all figured out.
Yeah, that's a very fast way to memorize the proportions. And then one team, when they got the panels out, the first thing they did when it was fresh in their mind is they laid all the panels down from a top view exploded outwards on the frame. And that is the way that you can design the pattern then of how everything's going to interlock very quickly. So, because your memory is going to start fading very quickly.
Yeah.
But by laying all the panels out in order of how they would 3D go onto the chassis, that's like an immediate strategy. I was like, that's exactly what I would have done is first wheelbase, set the tires down proportionally on the table, lay all the panels out, and then you start to construct it from there. So that was really smart. I can't remember which team did it, but brilliant maneuver.
Yeah, it was that was a tough. I mean, that was like that was sort of like akin to our little race car thing that we had to do, our Pinewood Derby that we had to do on ours.
Poor
and
Richard.
it was Hey, it was so not his fault. I'm just gonna say that like they built the tracks between the cars exactly the same height as a bushing. So he gets a little break on that one, I think.
Well, the side of the track was like a break, and it just stopped us 2/3 of the way down.
Yeah,
we didn't make it.
A bushing like literally was exactly the same size of where a bushing would stick out of the wheel.
Radius of the tire, right?
But anyway,
but no
enough
one
of our
else
sad excuses.
I'll just say no one else had that problem.
Yeah. So, so I believe, and eventually Caleb and Jacob came out on top on this particular part of the challenge, and they were given a benefit of which they weren't told what that benefit was until it came time to actually do the Derby, which personally I thought was a really odd move. Like we talked about it on the Talk Bricks Masters podcast about this, and how they really like built it up and built it up and built it up and built it up, and then by the time they actually like said what it was kind of like, that's what it is. That's okay. So they get to sit behind a barrier for 30 seconds. That was what we just got reminded about like 6 times in the last hour. All right. So that was I thought that was a little bit odd. Or do you think it was that a good bonus? Could there have been something else that would have been more interesting?
I thought it was a huge advantage because you have to keep in mind the entire Derby lasted maybe 2 minutes.
Right.
It felt like it lasted
30
an hour.
seconds. That's like a quarter. That's like a quarter of all the time it took to tear all the vehicles apart. So,
right. Brian, what was your thoughts on the extra 30 seconds? Do you think that was worthy of all the buildup?
I mean, it didn't really matter anyways. Now, did it? But it was.
That's the point.
It's it was interesting. I mean, if I were like the network, I'd be like, no, we want more action. We're not going to just, all right, you're going to stand here and just wait. Like there'd be something else they could have added on, or like a time advantage in some other way or something. But staying stationary is not very exciting.
Well, I mean, I feel like if they had just announced it at the very beginning, like when they actually got it, that's what they were getting.
Well, I think maybe they didn't want them to compromise on maybe the build of the car, for the sake of, we don't have to try as much. But like in that same logic, like couldn't someone with the gold brick just like not participate in the challenge? Because like, I'll just use it at the end. And there you go. So like, I don't know if that's some sort of logic.
Yeah, but you don't want to have to use it if you don't have to.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, before we move on to the main part of the episode, which was the Derby, it is the time. It is the pause that refreshes everybody. That's right. It is, as soon as I scroll down to it, Logan cookie time.
Uh-oh.
Yay, Logan.
Yay.
Oh my goodness. He's all over the place.
Back.
He got a bath.
He did.
He's clean.
It was very exciting.
Got all the cookie crumbs off.
Everyone.
Good boy, Logan.
Say hi to everyone right there.
I love it when the ears perk up.
All right, last one. Good boy.
Yay, Logan. What a good boy. And who else have we got? Oh, I see. It is, we've got Skittles is back. Hi, Skittles.
Look at this. You can't even see
The naughty Muppet dog. And it looks like Splishy and Splashy are back for a visit.
Topped off.
They've just been chilling. And it looks like, a little bear with a pot of honey and a heart. Very cute. I love that little bee there. And
I know, it's great.
What is that, Brian?
It's a crow.
Oh, are you doing your best Disney princess impersonation with a bird that lands on your finger and then you can talk to it? Yeah. It'll help you do chores.
Yeah.
I need some of those.
Awesome. All right, everybody. That was Logan Cookie Time. All right. Woohoo! All right. So here we go into the heart of this episode.
What did they build?
What did they build? So now I will. I'm going to preface this by saying I know a big question that a lot of people had, and we did as well, is that every car was a different color. And we did find out from Dave and Richard that they picked colors, kind of like they did with the hat episode. They picked colors, and then that way,
by chance?
Yeah, by chance, like they were randomly picked colors, and then that's why each one was a very specific color. So then, of course, at a distance, you could see, like on the track, like what was going on.
They didn't include that information, did they?
No, not at all.
No, but it was kind of like the big question of the evening. It seemed like was that gonna how was that gonna work out? But
yeah, and instead of pulling the color and getting a color assigned to you, they went in random order, and each team got to choose an available color in slots until it got to the end.
Right.
That was a slight difference there. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, because some of the colors were easier to work with than others, right?
For
finishing parts and.
Okay, so all right, here we go. Let's check out the first one. Whoop. There we go.
Ooh.
All right, so this
cool.
first one is from Mark and Steven, the Toxic Titan. And they obviously got gray, which I think that they brilliantly paired with the lime green to really, and I love the vintage look of this. But what do you think, Randall? What do you think of this of the Toxic Titan?
I actually talked to them, when I was hanging out with them this past weekend, well, a couple weekends ago, and they were talking to me about how they leaned into the aesthetics for some reason. They couldn't figure out like the math to get the strength. And so that said, I really like that they were able to still insert like a character into it.
Yes.
The color choice is great. I love the how they were able to insert some light into it, what it looks like to me, and still able to add, some personality in it for a choice that you would think would be limiting. They actually made it work.
But it looks really strong too. There's not lots of little bits and bobs to fall off.
Yep.
Yeah, it looks pretty sturdy. And I will and also while we're talking about this, if you look underneath the chassis in the front, you can see a metal strip with some nuts and bolts underneath the end of it. They did not use Lego RC car stuff for these cars. They actually used an RC car base that you can get from the store with that god-awful controller that kind of looks like a hot glue gun with a tire stuck on the side of it. They are incredibly difficult to drive. I can tell you from
it's not
as
intuitive as if you get a couple of joysticks.
Yeah, it is definitely difficult. So I have to first of all applaud almost everybody for mastering the driving of those cars, because it is not easy. Brian, what did you think of the Toxic Titan?
Forgetting the color gray, that's a beautifully well done job, and it's just enough green accents to make it pop and give it that personality. And it's definitely a specific type of vehicle, not just like it looks like this could be a normal car if you take that stuff off of it, so it still maintains what it's supposed to be. Although, was it structurally sound enough to win the Derby or get far? Like how much of that factored into it? And I know they really leaned into the aesthetics more so, but
right. And I will. And now, if I remember correctly, if I do remember when it did eventually come apart, it came apart in big chunks, right? Like big chunks of it came off rather than it like shattering into a million pieces or whatever. So, it had some structural, but I think that's something that you learn when you do Lego Masters is sometimes if you're not going to be able to make what you think is, you know, like the main thing, like here, the structure, then lean hard into the aesthetics and it will probably save your bacon.
Yeah, it worked out.
So
Well, for some. Yeah.
Well, being somebody who likes spooky stuff, Holly, what do you think about the Toxic Titan? This looks like it could be a like a movie special.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a pretty good design. I thought it was smart that they set the teeth back so that those kind of wouldn't be in the line of fire and like risk getting smashed, because so much of the character is in the front of that car.
Yeah.
That I can see why they would want to maintain that, like maintain the sort of intimidation throughout the Derby.
Yes. All right. So let's see. We've got okay, this next up is Zach and Wayne, the Purple Punisher. This I really like this one. I wish, and I know that I'm sure part of it has to do with being sideways built and not a whole lot of support pieces in purple. I wish we could have seen a little bit more curve, just a little bit, and to keep it from being so boxy. But that said, I love the flames coming out of the tires, and that the fact that, and you can't see it too on the picture, but the fact that they spelled out Punisher on the back of it is pretty fantastic. Moto, Mr. Car Aficionado, what do you think about the Purple Punisher?
Yeah, it's incredibly boxy, but I think the reason of that is if you know their work, these guys build fully automated tanks.
Right.
So to me, this is just a colorful version of an M1 Abrams, and they designed this thing to basically go out and destroy. They went with aesthetic secondary, and I can't fault them. I mean, these guys, they build mechanical tanks, and they built a tank.
There's a strategy there.
Yeah, they built Sledgehammer. That's what they
The
did.
wheels are very protected by those, outer false wheels.
Yep.
Mhm. Yep.
Well, which of course would end up actually being their downfall. But we can talk about that in a minute.
But it was a good strategy.
Yeah, absolutely. Cara, what do you think about this one?
I mean, I agree. It's really boxy, but that's an interesting point. I didn't know that they were tank makers. So it does that knowledge now, I think of this a little more positively.
That's a profession, right, Moto? I mean, they're not professional tank builders. I think you just mean
I'm sorry, but no, at Brick Rodeo, they brought their Technic automated model tanks, and they do everything. The mechanics are beautiful, but from building all of those frames, I just see it as incorporating their knowledge into this build,
which makes a lot of sense. And I think they did a pretty good job with the aesthetic. I mean, the flames are great. The Punisher, the whole row of trans lights on the front there is really cool. But yeah, I wish this, I don't know, it could have had more character, I think.
Yeah.
So now we were talking about the so they built these decorative wheels on the outside. Now what Richard and Dave were telling us was that they actually told them that there was going to be debris on the Derby road. That was something that they had to keep in mind, was that there was going to be stuff, and that when cars got destroyed, they were still going to be there. They weren't taking them, taking the pieces off the track. And as we saw in the end, that became, as I mentioned, their undoing. A piece or a tire, I believe it was, got caught underneath between that wall and the actual tires and caused that to stop entirely and not be able to move anymore.
So it was low, just not quite low enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they were given strong advice to not build low, because otherwise, because they could not see the track. So there was a probability the track was not going to be flat. There could have been hills on it,
right?
Valleys. So you've got to have that. You don't want to high center the car, in other words. So that's why we didn't see any flipper cars. We saw all bashers.
Right. Well, I am. it's still a really fun model, and of course it's got that whole lowrider vibe that that I really like a lot.
Yeah, I was very much feeling Joker on this one.
Ha!
Yeah, someone mentioned that, I think on the podcast we did. It was mentioned that this was a lot like the Joker's lowrider model.
Yeah.
All right. Love those fins, by the way. On the back is so good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is from Maria and Philip, and I love this car so much. It seems to me like very video gamey, kind of almost like Mario Kart-esque type of car. And really enjoyed it a lot.
And with built-in strategy too, right?
Yes, with built-in strategy, which is again very video gamey. So as our resident Mario, what do I call you? Mario Stan? Now, Brian, what do you think about this one?
I like this one, not even factoring in all the video gaminess of it. That's a new word for you, video gaminess. But just the curvatures of the car, like this looks like a truck, right? It has definition to it. It's the exact opposite in a lot of ways of like what Zach and Wayne did. This has a lot more going on with it. And yeah, the idea of the TNT blocks coming out of it, that's like a Crash Bandicoot sort of a vibe for me. Like, So I really like this one.
Yeah, I am something that I don't know. It's interesting. I know I've mentioned this before, but I feel like Maria and Philip are sort of like the us of this season. Like they have a very approachable build style, which is something that people have mentioned about our work before, and that it looks like, oh, you know what, I could probably pull that off. If I had all the bricks and stuff. And I think they always have such a strong aesthetic, and I love how clean this one is.
Yeah.
Well, I really like the sort of bitmapped way the angles of the sides of the windshield are. Like it's not like they snotted something on there. That's actually cool zigzaggy pixels like in a video game.
Yeah. And so what do you think, Randall? Does this give you video game vibes?
Oh yeah, Philip and I talk video games a lot, so it wasn't surprising to me for them to lean into this for this particular build. I particularly like the patterning on the front, like that wing is
the little V. Yeah.
So that really intrigued me, and they have like the little trophy on the top of the hood.
Yes, the little hood ornament. I love that.
Yeah, I love that.
Well, I do love that. And once again, dots to the rescue. Still so jealous y'all got dots. Like so much good stuff to do with those. In this challenge in particular, we see several good uses of dots. This is definitely a favorite. Holly, what do you think?
Oh, it's great. It was giving me the Roger Rabbit vibe, so I think I'm kind of on the same page as everyone else.
Good.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
A little cartoonish and cute, and I thought it was really, really. It definitely aesthetically. I wasn't sure how well it was going to hold up structurally, but I thought it was a really cute design.
Well, and all of these last three ones we've seen have really leaned into a vintage car vibe. Like we've got this, especially like the front of this one with like the double set of headlights, and that front just seems very like vintagey car to me. Very cool. All right.
I gotta say, this is one of my favorites. So no matter how well or poorly it did.
Yeah. So this was Jen and Susan's, and this was the their green tractor that's giving me sort of Thomas the Tank Engine or Cars vibes with kind of the googly eyes like on the front of the tractor there. So I really love the use of the wedged plates to create the front like sort of I don't know what you call that part of a tractor because I know nothing about tractors, but that front part thing, I think was really great. But I know they did struggle a bit with this one. So Moto, do you have any thoughts on this one?
I do. First of all, I really like the blower. Not that you would supercharge a tractor, but why not? But they've got a supercharger on there, but it's double stacked Mad Max style. It doesn't make a lot of sense mechanically, but it looks awesome.
Yeah.
I just love it. It looks exactly like you'd think an intake like an intake blower would want to work in Lego. And then just you're right. The front part of the combine, really cool. I love the exhaust ports are blowing flames, so you can tell it's supercharged. A lot of really interesting stuff. It's looking at the frame, it's very bricky, very large slabs, but then their ability to put all these little details to break up that chunkiness and really make it look great, I thought was really impressive.
I really thought the first time I saw it, I was reminded of monster battles or first Lego League, where so many of the models you see have wedges to sort of get underneath the other cars and push them out of the way. Yeah, and I think we end up seeing that those front and rear wedges aren't attached quite as rigidly as maybe they needed to be. But yeah. I thought it had a really competitive look, like it was going to do some damage.
Yeah, it's now I gotta say I know that they mentioned it, but if I didn't have them there explaining it, I would be a little confused by the I guess they're vines like on the sides there. Mm-hmm. It seems, I don't quite understand that, but I like it as aesthetically. I like it as an aesthetic thing.
Yeah.
But,
and I thought the choice of, agriculture for the green, it's just a perfect choice. If you pull the color green, you really got to go and lean into that John Deere or combine type look.
Exactly. I agree. And I really love the way that they did use those curved window pieces for the windshield. It's a great choice of piece, I think.
Yeah. And also this is an older style. It's not a modern combine. I think everybody's still leaning into the classic or vintage aesthetic for live vehicles. I think one reason they're doing that is the modern cars have such complex compound angles. They don't lend themselves well to a brick belt or bricks, a brick sculpted vibe. Whereas
everything's sort of ballooned up and rounded.
Yeah, so you can get some rounds in there, but mostly it's large slabs of brick. And I think the vintage cars and the way the metal was shaped and stamped back then just lends itself right into that. So kudos to the teams for not trying to go modern and not trying to pull off really complex compound curves.
Well, but I think also too, yes, I mean, just being a person who's not super into cars, I look at modern cars, and to me, and yes, I know there's differences, but to me, one is very much like the other is like the other, where with vintage cars, they really went out there to make you notice them, right? Either through really bold colors or fins, or especially in the 50s and 60s, just the crazy, ridiculous cars. But I love that those people who leaned into that kind of Big Daddy Roth aesthetic, that very character cars, concept car thing.
I think part of the reason we didn't see more complex curves on these builds was there was a shorter build time for this, right?
It was a shortish build time, yeah, shorter than some of the others. I don't remember the exact number, but all right.
Well, that and they had an incredible technical challenge with the way the chassis were delivered.
Yeah.
So this stuff's all amazing.
All right, this was Brian and Lauren. Yeah. This was their Matador Bull car. And it was interesting. We usually see quite a bit from them during the episode. And in this particular one, we didn't really see them until the end. We didn't see what they were working on, how they were working on it, what was going on with the design process. So I'm a little bummed that we missed out on their thought process on making this. Mm-hmm. But I'm interested to hear what y'all think. Brian, what do you think about the Matador Bull car?
This one's not very big by comparison of the other ones. I feel like they're a lot more like extravagant in terms of like how wide they go out or how high. This one definitely retains the shape of the body of the RC car they were given for a lot of it, except for the red cape in the back. I love the gold accents all throughout it, and the theming is excellent. It's totally on brand for what the Demolition Derby should be, it being a bull. I know the wheels are a little bit more exposed, but there's all different strategies for all of these different cars. And I think they were leaning a lot more into the aesthetics with this one, and it shows because I love the idea of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Kara, what do you think?
I mean, I totally agree. It's absolutely beautiful, and I love the theming of it. I was when I first saw it, I mean, the face looks a little delicate to me. So I definitely think they were going for the aesthetic win rather than the technical one. But because I mean, it just looks like those teeth are going to come off the second they hit anything, right? Not to mention the horns. So that was a little worrisome to me because I mean, there's so much character in that face that to lose it immediately in the Demolition Derby would have just didn't seem like it would work out very well. But on the whole, yeah, I think it's a beautiful build.
Well, and then they sort of did the opposite of what Holly was talking about with Mark and Stevens, where they really inset the teeth deep in to make sure that they wouldn't fall off. Where these ones are definitely right out there, right up front, right?
Yeah.
I do, again, I'm looking forward to having them on the show so we can talk about some of the like their thought process behind this particular build.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Holly,
go ahead, Holly.
No, go ahead, Moto.
I was just going to say, I see a trend with Brian and Lauren where they are very, very good at just building characters, expressions on characters. Design is a great strength, and it always just brings me joy, and they make me laugh every time I see another character come through.
Absolutely.
The eyes really make it, right? They just set the whole vibe from the beginning.
All right. Next up, we come to Caleb and Jacob's, the Sunshine, and I can't remember the name. Sorry,
Sunshine Wagon.
Thank you. And you can't see, unfortunately, the sunshine in this particular photo, but
it's there.
This big, aggressive orange tow truck with this cute little smiley sun face on the front of it, and it had a fun story as well. So let's hold off talking about what happens with this car and just talk about the car first. So, hello, Joseph and Alyssa. Hello. So let's talk a little bit about the Sunshine Wagon. Holly, why don't you kick off on this one?
Okay. Well, I mean, it's kind of hard to not talk about the rest of it because.
Well, let's just talk about the design of the car.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, the design was top notch. Like, I think this was definitely, in my mind, was kind of a front runner of like everything it should have been, which it was like a quintessential, wrecking ball of a derby car, so I think it's exactly what it should have been. They had a really cute little story to go along with it, which of course we know the judges are always looking for. I like that they had parts kind of swinging off of it and everything. Like they had the Technic structure in there. So they were obviously I can see the strategy. I see exactly what they were trying to do. And I think that they hit all those notes really well.
Although this one lends itself to a lot of debris falling off, and it could be a problem.
But I kind of thought that was maybe part of the strategy is like the stuff that coming off of it would be more for like dramatic effect, not necessarily it doesn't look to me like it was built for necessarily chunks. I don't, again, we can't say much about what preceded, but
yeah.
Well, I would think like with the TNT, the pieces that fall off this could pose impediments to the competition.
That's right.
Exactly.
That could be an advantage,
but also to yourself, because you just never know.
Well, that's why you got to drive around it.
So, Randall, what do you think?
I think to your point, right? Like to add on to them potentially purposely designing it for small pieces to fall off. They don't have that same challenge that Wayne and Zach had with the protection around the wheels for them to eventually get caught up in that. It looks like, it should run over the debris.
Right.
Best as possible.
Now, what do you think about all the extras? Like, because there's definitely a lot of greebling going on here.
I really like the exhaust pipes. Yeah, on the top and like towards the front, you can even see those. I like they really played, like you said, to the point of the Derby and not kind of having it look like dirty, like it's already been in a few battles before.
Yeah.
So I really and the warning, kind of the warning colors in the back too, and I think they're on the front, like the black and the yellow,
right?
Stuff on the back of the bumper.
Well, so now we can talk about this. So what happened was they won the pre-challenge, if you will, the beginning challenge, which bought them 30 seconds
did we miss a few?
Being behind a barrier.
Safety, 30 seconds of safety.
30 seconds of safety, right? They got behind a barrier. They built it up. And again, who knows with editing, like how long it was actually, like what actually happened. But from the audience's point of view, what we saw is that barrier came up, the car drove out and immediately drove off the other end of the board and crashed onto the floor.
That's the funniest thing I've seen in ages.
It's sort of adjusted course to make a beeline for the opening.
Yeah, it was like that. I play a lot of pinball, and so it's like that feeling of when like the ball shoots out and just goes directly right between the flippers, and you don't even have time to like get it out of there.
Yeah, I was actually realizing, like at a certain point, I kind of realized that 30-second delay or whatever was actually to their disadvantage, because when everybody else came out all at once, there was enough of a cluster there in the middle that it does keep anybody from beelining anywhere. Yeah. And for them, it was like there were really only a couple of cars left, really, that were just kind of stuck somewhere, and so there was lots of space for them to just right on through.
Oh, no.
I felt, again, like every time that happens, when something like that happens, having, been on the show and just being a builder who has experienced something collapsing or falling off a table before. I'm sure everyone on here has had that experience before, Moto. That like, I felt so much for them in that moment. And and again, like, I applaud them that they took it in stride.
Oh, like they couldn't. I saw them laughing too. Like you could not. Yeah,
I didn't. I just laughed so darn hard. It was probably
everybody
the funniest
I knew
moment
laughed.
Across any episode, across any version of Lego Masters in the world. That is the most hilarious thing that's ever happened.
Yeah.
I was dying.
It was very funny, and also I would just feel, because know in that moment, right? Like if you are that person, if you are the person who just drove the car off the end, like that's
that would
it.
Be me.
Yeah, I mean, I did see when the realization like sunk in. You could see it was like, crap, like that was the game. But I kind of felt bad for Jamie and Amy too, because they had to judge based on that criteria, and I know they've been put in that situation time and time again where there's almost like a by default like bottom that doesn't necessarily deserve it. But if like you could take other things into account, I don't think that they would be on the bottom. But like Jamie said, he's like, well, we didn't really get a chance to see how it performed, so by default, like, sorry, man. Yeah,
they snatched defeat from the jaws of victory.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Yes, it's true.
I wasn't too worried though, because this is my favorite aesthetic of all of them.
Exactly.
I mean, this thing
fits, I think it met
Mad Max
met
to
the
a T.
challenge.
Is just gorgeous. So I just felt like even if they're in the bottom, this thing is so beautiful. I just couldn't see the judges, sending someone home for something like this.
Yeah, it was really just a really stunning build, and like I can't remember if it was Jamie or Amy who said it, but the disappointment of not getting to see it perform to its to its upper best was disappointing, but still an amazing build, and applause to them for pulling it off, and then again taking it in great stride when it didn't quite go the way they were hoping it would.
Well, there's nothing else they could have done, right?
Well, I don't know, the rules behind this or anything, but I would love to see them rebuild this. I would love to see like
They did rebuild it.
They did.
Yeah. Go to Cheesy Studio on YouTube. They completely rebuilt it, and it's gorgeous. And they make fun of themselves while they do it. So they have
awesome.
All right. Okay, this is Dave and Richard's build, the Rad Devil. This one was really fun. I love this, and it incorporates all the things that they do so well and into a piece.
And there was strategy to their design as well, right?
Yeah. So Brian, what do you think of the Rad Devil?
Rad Devil. This is also another one of those that was very to the form of the car, right? There's not a lot of there's extras on here, but not. It didn't go with a traditional car design, and it went with a very I don't know what the word would be for
character
it.
car,
Thematic,
concept car.
Yeah, a very thematic vehicle. So they must have gotten red, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So red and black, playing right into it. I really like the vibe of this. It feels just menacing enough and quick enough to go through the track and decimate the other vehicles.
Well, I think part of their strategy, didn't they say their strategy was to have nothing around the wheels that could get caught up and obstructed? They wanted exactly the opposite of protecting them.
Right. Yeah. Yep. This, I love this build, and getting to actually talk to them, the two of them, about what went into the build. I thought was really great. And I definitely love the characterness of it. And I just noticed the trident on the side, or pitchfork, I guess is what you call it when it's the devil. The pitchfork on the side, I thought is what a great addition.
Oh, okay.
Randall, what are your thoughts on this one?
Both of them did a good job of including details that weren't outside of the plane of the car, like the base. So that kind of that mullety thing in the back, like the hair, that doesn't extend too far. It doesn't extend too far, outside of the back of the base of the car. Those I guess it's engines or something like that on the side that have the rope. The
hoses.
Yeah, the hoses. Yeah,
I think I'm not sure, Randall, but you and I might have taken the same shop class.
Same one. Yes. Yeah, that appears as if it doesn't, break that side of the plane. And so the other thing that I'm noticing as well, I have to wonder how many large flame pieces were left, because you see some in here, you saw some on Susan and Jen's car. You saw a lot on Wayne and Zach. I have to wonder if that bin was running low and on everybody was finished.
Yeah, right. Who didn't get theirs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got to have those hot rod flames.
Mm-hmm. Who got elbowed on the way to that bin?
Well, and of course we've seen a few of them do this, but this the car is the character thing. I really enjoy that look of it. Really cool.
Also, yeah, this is known as a rat rod, and it just fits a rat rod so well. I just wanted to commend them how well they match that aesthetic.
All right, and then finally we have Natalie and Michelle's the Fear the Horn. And again, thank you to Randall and Moto for grabbing these screenshots for us last minute. These last two that we were just looking at. I, of course, love the aesthetic of this. It's delightful, and clearly they chose white, which is a hard color to work in. And I think they did admirably. I will admit that right off the top, I was nervous about that horn. Because it's just that, I mean, I wasn't sure how they secured it. It was kind of hard to see, but coming in at an angle like that, and indeed, it was the first thing to fall, to come off of it when it went out. But Holly, what do you think about the unicorn car?
It's not my favorite. I wanted it to be. I really liked the concept, but I think it was just one of those things that worked better as a concept than execution. But it's also a really tough task to try and marry those two concepts, right? Like it's something that's supposed to be obviously kind of pretty and whimsical with like a derby car. So I don't know where else they could have gone with it. But I just wasn't quite like, I like the technique that they used for the unicorn horn, but it didn't sell it for me. Like it just didn't, like if I didn't know where they were going with this and just looking at it, I don't think that I would have gotten unicorn out of it. So I'm not sure.
Is it because of all the lavender?
I actually don't see a whole lot of lavender in there.
Yeah, there's lavender.
Yeah, no, the colors are fine. Like I like the color scheme that they used. It's like this kind of, it's so blocky, which of course was obviously because they wanted it to structurally hold up. But then there are all of these pieces that I could just imagine immediately flying off the exhaust pipes at the front. The horn I didn't think was going to make it. I don't know. Maybe it just needed more. Maybe they just ran out of time, but it could have used a little more greebling or something just to kind of whims it up a bit just overall. Whereas right now it just looks like it has a very stark kind of protruding piece that I just didn't quite get aesthetically. Yeah, if that's what we're talking about.
I love the color and the sort of, I think it's a translucent mane on the back being that sort of fin. But the one thing I did think about the unicorn horn is I would have loved to have seen it weaponized more in like a jousting
more of like a harpoon
position.
Yeah,
like you're going to joust and just spear the competition. And then, it would have had to be really, really rigidly attached to the base. And I know that had to be a challenge.
I think you're right about that. Like if you're going to put a horn on it, like make it like exactly like weaponize it. Like what is it doing up at the top as a decoration? That didn't make much sense to me.
Moto, what are your thoughts?
I really love the use of color. I think this one doesn't read as a vehicle as much because of the way they sloped it in. So it looks more like the conning tower of a submarine more than a car.
Okay.
That might be, it's the proportions I think that are driving that. But Natalie and Michelle, I don't think they've got an automotive background but they've got, so the front part I think is very successful. The way the radiators there, the headlights, the engine block.
Yeah.
It's somewhere around them, but it's hard to merge fantastical fantasy with car design. I think that's the reason you don't see a lot of that in Matchbox cars or those type of metal cars. You see a lot of the other kind of crazy ideas coming through, but I love the use of color. I build in white and color, so that rings true for me. I think it's just the shaping of the middle part that maybe lends itself less to looking more like a car or
and the fact that they put the detail all kind of on the front, which is all the stuff that's just going to fly off, and not on the rest of it where it might have lasted a little bit.
Brian, any thoughts?
No, not compared to what everyone else said here. I really would have loved to seen that the horn weaponized a little bit more. We didn't really see anything like that from any of the competitors, like something like protruding out or really on any side to like kind of jumble them up. That was a prime opportunity to do it.
Susan and Jens kind of had that with the teeth that were supposed to be jabby.
Also, the back of the Sunshine Wagon had that bludgeoning boulder.
Yeah.
Well, the boulder, I don't think that actually did anything. Like,
well, none of the
cars that fell off the table.
I mean, it added some more for the crew to clean up, I guess.
Well, I will say that the weaponization of Philip and Maria's actually worked. Like they got hit, and that little box fell out of the back. I don't know if ultimately it actually, stopped anyone or caused an issue with anybody's car.
Wasn't it supposed to like spill stuff out? I don't think that it did though.
No, just the boxes were supposed to come out. Yeah.
Okay.
Very
loose rubber tires. That's what did everybody in. Wasn't even the vehicle component.
And if they wanted to really lean into Mario, those boxes should have been full of bananas, which would have been amazing.
Totally. That's what I was thinking. That's what I was expecting anyway. Because I thought that they had filled the box with stuff that was going to like come out.
Bananas are the new spike strips of Lego. Is that
it? Please.
All right.
Well, for all of the various ways to destroy mocks that are in this season, including I think we have one coming up where pieces get blown over. I think this has the most fun gamification. Like the fact that they actually got to battle, I thought was pretty fun. Not necessarily,
and they were judged on aesthetic before they were like wrecked. Yeah.
Right. So, all right. So this brings us to the part where if you haven't seen the episode already, and we haven't already spoiled it enough for you, this may be the time when you want to, mute it or whatever, because we're going to talk about the winning build and who went home.
Spoiler alert!
Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! Okay. So, so the winners of this competition would be Dave and Richard with the Rad Devil. Now, what we saw in this was literally it came down to two cars. It was Zach and Wayne's Purple Punisher versus the Rad Devil, and I wonder what would have happened had Zach and Wayne's car not been rendered immovable or immobile by a piece of debris, like how it would have gone if they had actually gotten into a severe head-to-head smashing. But in the end, it was like poor Zach and Wayne like stuck there in the middle and just them relentlessly being like jammed with the other car.
It was awesome.
Also, what would have happened had the Sunshine Wagon survived?
Yes, had that, and like how would that have changed had the trajectory of things?
Well, also those two teams probably had the strongest drivers too. I mean, Richard's familiar with RC as well as Zach and Wayne have done this before, so.
And when we had Richard and David on, like we talked about that difficulty of that particular. Like, I don't know, have any of y'all done RC cars with that particular controller before?
It's really hard.
Yeah. It's a nightmare.
It's tricksy. Yeah, it is.
Like really, really difficult because you're like squeezing with a trigger
for forward and reverse, and then you're steering with this thing that's on the side like this, and I was kind of wanting to hold it like this so that I could steer it like an actual.
That's what I do. I do the gangster firearm Glock thing, and I just turn it sideways and move it.
It's just, it was. It's very difficult to drive. So I still kudos to all of them for being able to actually get it to move. I would have just been, like when somebody falls asleep at the video game controller and the character's just bumping up against a wall endlessly, that would have been me in the car. It just would have gone boom, boom. So congratulations to them all. And congratulations to Dave and Richard for their win on a really fun, a really fun car. And they did ultimately take the top spot on this one. Now, interestingly, who went home on this episode was sadly Susan and Jen. And it's interesting because so many people have said that was their favorite one of the group. Like their favorite, like many people have said like, oh, I really loved this one. Oh, I really enjoyed how it looked. I thought the aesthetic was really fun. I love the colors. So many positive things to say about this particular build. It was definitely sad to see them go.
Well, structurally, it didn't it had a hard time, right?
Well, but a lot of them
in the battle.
A lot of them had a structurally difficult time.
I feel like the aesthetic, it's kind of unfortunate that the aesthetics really only played into getting that 30-second bonus at the beginning. And then I felt like the aesthetics had absolutely nothing to do with how they judged it in the end. It was really just last car standing.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's not how I took it. If I look at the Sunshine Wagon and I look at this and I had to make a choice, I probably would make the exact same decision that Amy and Jamie did. I'm not saying this is bad. I'm just saying if you look
between those two.
I mean, for them being in the bottom,
two.
though. Yeah, because this car was like the first one to kind of fall apart, right?
Yeah, that's what puts you at
right.
the bottom. So, or, you know, but for whatever reason, if I look at the bottom two, I think aesthetics did come into it. If I had to choose.
Well, of course, but I just mean as far as being in the bottom two, like for getting eliminated, it really just sort of came down to which two performed the least. And, you know, aesthetics didn't seem to play into them selecting the bottom two.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, well, and then but that's been, you know, because they've leaned into this whole destruction aspect.
That's the nature of the game, you know?
Yeah, a lot of what we're seeing is things being eliminated because, not for aesthetic reasons, but
structural
because
failure.
of whatever
I could attest to that.
Bums me out. I don't like it.
Well, I mean, it was. I mean, the same thing happened with our
the rules.
With our bridge build. Had we been up against, I mean, like, you know, who knows what it would have been like? But we leaned hard into the aesthetics because we knew.
Well, structurally, we didn't do well.
Yeah, but we knew based on the pieces that were left when we got there that we weren't going to be able to make something that was going to really hold up. So we might as well make it pretty while you can, you know?
Yeah.
And that's a hard line to walk, I got to say.
Although it probably makes it easier for judging. So there's that.
Sure. But I would think that overall, this would have been a tough one to make those kinds of decisions on.
Yes, it would have been.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, that's what I mean, though. Like they probably did that. That's probably intentional that they set these challenges like they did, because then there's more or less like maybe not a clear winner, but almost like a clear loser, because it's just whichever doesn't structurally perform the best or something. It's
well, they tied themselves up in knots a little bit, I think, when they said, well, Jacob and Caleb, you're not here for your driving skills, but...
Right. Right. But you are. Sort of.
But in the end, they were there because of what happened with the driving.
Right.
So, I don't know. No, you go.
I was going to say, I mean, Joel made a good point, is that the Lego destruction is interesting for an episode or two, but having the Lego destruction continue episode after episode after episode, this is Fox trying to make it as exciting as possible for their ratings. And because watching Lego destruction is kind of fun. I mean, that's a huge part of the fun of playing the video games, right? It's just knocking things down.
I mean, in the beginning of the episode where Will is just for absolutely no reason at all, just knocks the car off the like, why? Why was that necessary?
Because it's an intro to the demo. I mean,
yeah, I know.
I mean, it's just cheesy.
Like you even could see Amy just horrified, like, why do you do that?
It's total cheesiness.
I want to see the challenge that says, make the prettiest thing you can make. It's just got to be so pretty.
No one would watch it.
I think the the episode that I got eliminated on, that one was more, aesthetic, if anything. Yes, you had to build off of a hanging brick, but nothing was getting destroyed. It was, build whatever you want.
Only because they were counting. I guarantee they were counting on something falling and
smashing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely, I mean, there have been places definitely where, I mean, aesthetics absolutely 100% plays a part in all of this, but there do seem to be some often other things that sort of supersede that particular thing, right?
This is a very technical season. It seems to be structured.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, you would think that a hat challenge would be an aesthetics challenge, but it was structural in a major way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So Brian, what do you have your builds from you and Nick's bill?
Oh, that was a decade ago.
I know.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, it's actually right over my shoulder. Actually, right
Actually,
back there.
Oh,
So we decided to build these vehicles that were like modeled after appliances. So I had my minifigure in here, but mine is like a bathtub that had the faucet.
That's great.
So you see the tiles on the bottom for the bathroom, water spewing out of it. This is the shower head coming down
Yeah.
onto there. There's spikes on the front, guards on the sides, and there was a big. I took it apart by accident, but a big rubber duck on the back. And if you hit it, it would act as like a bomb to like be in the trail. So,
See,
yeah.
look at that competitive shape there. That thing is weaponized.
I love it.
That's what I mean. There was nothing like with the contestants. There's nothing protruding out of the side. I immediately went to like, put something on the front, the sides, and the back, so that way it's all sides there.
Sort of
So, yeah.
Ben-Hur spinning spikes.
No, and hey, look at
Exactly,
that.
yeah.
Brick and Nick is here. Hey, Nick, how's it going?
just
Yeah,
adorable.
so
Very
far,
pretty indeed.
What a cute. Did you guys get a chance to crash them or anything?
He's in Canada. I'm not. We can't cross the borders yet. One day we will. We'll just.
Well, you can't just do like a wall test or something.
Well, then how was I going to show you the build this week?
Quick thinking, Lincoln. Nice
Uh-huh.
one.
Yeah. Right. Right.
Oh my goodness. All right. Well, we are almost at the end, but before we go, it's time to share a favorite minifig.
ah,
Oh,
So, if you have your minifig close by, let's see, who will we start out with? Let's go. Let's start at the other end this time. Holly, what have you got for us today?
I don't know. I just grabbed one within reach. It's a magnet.
Well, to
I
be
wasn't
fair,
ready.
you have minifigs within reach, no matter what direction
Absolutely.
you
Here
turn.
you go. It's a magnet. It's pretty cool.
Very
It's
cool.
on my little rolling cart over here. I have a whole bunch of really cool minifig magnets.
Oh, very nice.
Cool.
Awesome. All right, Kara.
Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice.
Yay! I love that figure. I can't tell you how thrilled I was when that came out. Like
Me
one of
too.
my
I
favorite
have to Google this.
of those movies. Oh, it's Lego Dimensions, Randall. It's,
Okay. Got it.
yeah, it's a great minifig. Oh my goodness, it
His
is.
great hair,
Yes, it's like the Doc Brown hair, but colored in that green.
That's right.
the lime green, or the
Mhm.
this bright lime green. I don't know
That
what
Yeah.
kind
it
of
is.
phosphorescent green.
Actually, I think it's called Bright Light Yellow.
Yeah, it's a weird color.
Yeah, that's
It's
yeah,
a weird. It's a
I
weird
wish I
color.
had my gremlin within reach. It would have matched my pen.
There you go.
Yeah,
There you go. Brian, what have you got? Brian, are you putting something together there?
No, I got a whole bag of goodies from Brick Fair. So I'm not like a big Brick Mania guy, but they had these minifigures that were like misprints of what they normally do, and they're all like obscure colors and just like weird looking minifigures. So the guy cut me a deal on them. So that there's like translucent weapons and all sorts of weird stuff. So I got
Wow.
that. I got like 2 of those. It's like a weird gas mask looking guy. Like, why not, right? And also, I'll show you this side tangent one here, parts. This is from Citizen Brick, and they make all sorts of stuff. These are large minifigure heads.
Oh, I have
Yeah.
a couple of those. They're
Yeah, those are cool.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this
Oh, wow.
It's like, if I'll show you for scale, like if you put it on a regular minifigure body, it looks like super massive, like huge.
Wow,
Really,
you could do
really
like your
cool.
whole. You could do the Residents. If anybody knows who that band is, Residents. No, everybody's like, no,
No,
old
never-
man.
never-
I have no idea. But
never
they,
heard of them.
They always used to wear giant eyeball head masks. When they were doing their music.
Yeah. So yeah, just a couple things there.
Very cool.
Wow.
All right, Moto.
Oh, okay. I'm not dead yet.
Oh yes, you are.
I'm not dead yet.
I'm just
not
taking a
dead yet.
nap.
Just
I'm
taking
just-
a long dirt nap.
I'm not dead. I just smell funny.
I I know the brief shining period that was llama.
Oh,
Yeah.
poor thing. Well, I think llama started taking a dive somewhere around BritCon. But that's a whole nother story.
Oh man.
All right.
All right, Dawn
Randall.
wants to see Randall's centaur.
And I was gonna shout Dawn out earlier because she said, "Hey," but you're trying to play me to the left. So no, I'm not shouting you out, Dawn. I'm sorry. That's number one. Hi, Dawn. It's nice to see you. Holly, I wanted to show you my parfait.
Yeah,
Brick.
I like it.
Yes. So that's some of the yellow leaves that y'all were talking about. Earlier.
Yep, that's how I roll.
Look at that carefully packed cup with the long slopes all vertical.
Oh yeah.
Little
Yeah.
pieces in the bottom. Yep.
I was real surgical with it when I was at the
Approve.
yeah. And that's only half of them. But while I was at Brick Fair as well, I leaned into minifigs, and I'm usually not a minifig guy, but I found one, and I'm gonna figure out how to build around it. I got like a
It's like a circus guy.
Nice.
That's a great one.
It's
The
so
lion
cute.
tamer.
no.
Is he wearing his underpants on the outside?
Well, you know.
So
Circus guy.
I just noticed that too, and I'm probably gonna replace that piece to make it like all that.
Yeah, I think so.
No, that's why he has that particular expression. Because he just walked upstairs and realized his underwear's on the
They're a little
outside.
snug.
Here are my kids.
Where's my pants? He's like,
Nice.
nothing to see here, folks.
Thank you, Don Brickles, Ringmaster. There I go again with my awesome mummy case and circus guy.
I thought he was a lion tamer though, because he has the little whip thing.
So
right?
it's not, yes, I think so. And I'm waiting to, when I got it, I was thinking about all the new animal modes.
The new
that
lion.
came.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
gonna see how I
Yep.
compare it with those.
All right, Richard, you're up.
All right. Let's see here.
Oh, yes.
There we go. That is Dukelin, one of the goblins from Elves, right there.
So cool.
And
I love
in
those
that
elf
light.
figures.
Doesn't really glow in the dark green.
Hey, TT Bricks, how's it going? So yeah, Centaur Trainer, Ms. Slowbrickta, you are naughty. Naughty.
Pulling that
Don,
down.
you about to get blocked.
All right, now if you saw our show on Wednesday, then you've already seen this, and it is not officially a minifigure, kind of like Richard's today. But I came into some Belleville sets.
Oh boy.
Ooh.
Everybody's running now. Everybody's like
No,
quickly shutting
I'm
off the
here for it.
screens.
I know.
But
Trigger alert.
The
I got
original
this
fan.
sort of like Joan Crawford meets Lady Tremaine,
what?
Cinderella's stepmother,
By way of Frida
Amazing.
Kahlo.
by way of Frida
What?
Kahlo.
Oh my gosh.
Terrifying figure.
And I'm just now noticing like the kind of bat-like collar. Look at that.
Yeah, it's got
Yeah.
a cool. She's got a cool printing on her collar. I love her cocked eyebrow. Right.
And her like
Liquid
like
eyeliner.
demented Mickey Mouse hair.
Well, it's like victory rolls. Like
I
it's
know,
like a
but
19.
it looks like Mickey Mouse ears.
Very Blade Runner.
And then of course she's got the
Blade
green,
Runner, yes.
the green transparent crown,
Yes. The magnifying
which is
glass.
awesome.
She's fabulous.
So good.
But she looks like she's about to like get bad with some wire hangers and chop down some roses. I'm just saying.
You're right, Abby. I totally see Bjork. Yep.
So, oh yeah, there's a bit of a Bjork thing going on, and I love that she's got her like pink transparent magnifying glass.
Oh, you could see her eye through it.
Oh, that's fantastic.
That's
So
pretty
good.
good.
Yeah, she is. She's pretty awesome, I gotta say. So that
Okay.
was
Until you wake up and she's like standing on your nose staring
I
at you.
know.
I guess we're probably not going to do sticker time, but I was going to show something kind of cool.
Yeah, show stickers.
Yeah,
Yeah, we haven't done
um,
stickers in ages.
Yeah, I'm building the Temple of Erajitsu, and technically this is not a sticker, thank God, but
Oh,
it's like a little plastic
yes.
piece, the window piece.
It's for the
Yeah.
shadow show.
Yes,
There's a shadow show that goes on behind that with a
I
light.
just got to
ring.
the part
Nice.
where I was putting that in there, and I just wanted to show that off because that part is really really neat. It's very
That's
Genshin.
really cool. It's one of my favorite play functions in any Lego set.
Yeah, it's it really
exciting.
and truly one of the best. So cool.
Yeah.
Well, I am. Oh, and by the way, if you want to see more Belleville Terror, you got to look up some of the Belleville instructions because they have the dolls building the model. Like that's how they show them. Is like she is like crawling around, like putting the bricks onto the little pieces, and it's utterly terrifying.
And crying
amazing.
because she can't get to her wine attic.
Yeah, she has like wine in the attic, and there's like a giant champagne glass with apples in it. It is bizarre. It is absolutely bizarre, but super fun. Anyway, but oh my gosh. Well, thank you everybody so much for coming and joining us today. Thank you to everybody on the panel, Moto, Randall, Cara, Holly, and of course, internet sensation Bricks O'Brien. Thank you so much. So great to have you back hanging out with us. We missed you while you were gone. And a big, awesome welcome to Randall, who we're going to be seeing more of on Sundays, which we're all super, super excited about. So, we're going to have to be once Lego Masters is over in like 6 months because they're going to keep just like skipping weeks and weeks.
Get more out of it.
Like every week they're just gone for another 3 weeks and then 4 weeks. We're actually going to have to find some stuff to talk about once this is all over.
There's going to be new sets. There's going to be stuff that just like video, all the things.
Always something to talk about. Hey, your dad's here.
I know my dad's here. He's like, what kind of wine do they have in the Belleville attic? He's there for it.
Oh, my goodness. Well, that was a lot of fun, as always. And so this week, just as a reminder, again, we are not here again until next Sunday
for a big
with our
episode.
live from Portland episode, but we will still be having our other guests who are not in Portland as well, but some of us will be in Portland, and we will be discussing this week's episode, this upcoming week's episode of Lego Masters, which is this windmills with a giant fan blowing on it challenge. I'm sure that's what it's called too, by the way. Episode 7, windmill thing with wind blowing on it challenge.
Isn't it called Breaking Wind? Is that the actual
Oh
title?
my god.
Is it?
I don't know. I tried to look
that's
it
the
up.
title of your stream, Moto.
Yeah. We should steal that though.
No, my title on my stream was Gone with the Wind.
Yeah,
That's pretty good, too.
switch that out.
Oh
I
man.
don't know.
Always,
Miss Slowbrick, I like my dad too.
yeah.
Hi, Abby. It's nice to see you too.
Awesome. Well, again, thanks everybody so much for joining us. And until we see you, I will be on Twitch on Tuesday for the Raid Train. But as you know, we are not. Thank you. We are no longer doing Wednesday shows. So our next official Tricky Bricks YouTube show will be next Sunday, where we will be discussing this next episode. So until next time, don't forget, everybody, to please stay safe, stay healthy, wash your hands, wear your mask when and where you still need to, get that vaccine as soon as you possibly can, and we will see you next time. And yes, Abby the Brick Squirrel says, don't forget, we are in the middle of our 2-week challenge, the What a Punderful World challenge, where you will build a pun. Yes, that's from Debo Bricks, by the way. Great name. What a Punderful World. Build a pun, and we will see you next Sunday. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone. Happy building.
Bye.